Hey guys, I hope everyone is well. I was so sick last week. I had the flu. So please bear with me because my throat and I still have a cough and stuff. So I'm going to take it easy and slow. But I just wanted to come on here with a little update with GBPJPY. Obviously, I'm heavily focused on GJ and UJ. And I have pretty much called out most of these moves over time. Obviously, at the moment, I am splitting my main channel from being mindset and putting all my trading content onto this channel, which is now my new channel. So if you do go back, some of it might seem like, why has it just been posted? But it's from a month ago, and that is why. Okay, so just quickly, I'm just going to quickly tell you a little bit about what I can see, why I've got into these trades, and then break down a few trades I got in last week. So if you could see this at the moment, this is on a weekly time frame. And of course, when I first actually got in the trade, which was around this area here, this wick, I did predict that price would come and retest this area and reject, which is exactly what we did. Now, the reason I have a Fibonacci retracement at this level here is because this is our new higher low after this rejection wick. Meaning, I've put from point A to our newest high, and again, I am aiming for price to come here, but overall to come here, but I want it to come here first, because on a fib, from this high to this low down here, this gives us our 78.60. So anyhow price wanted to come to the downside, I would be looking for it to reject off that. And that is why we work with small areas, so small goals, and then we look for our overall goal, because I do expect GJ to reach new highs. So this Fibonacci has gave me this level here, 189,900 flat, let's say. And this is also a 61.80 on this fib. Now you may ask, how have I got this fib? Okay, cool. So we've got this new higher low here, because this is our new higher low after this higher low. This is our rejection. So this is our second leg. 1, 2, 3. We also have a bullish engulfing candle. And then we have this area here, which is a place that we have rejected, an area of importance that we have rejected. We've also rejected this in the past, and we've smashed that through, and we have now retested this and not been able to break through to the upside. I've then put this little trend line here from this high, to these areas here where it's continuously stopped at this trend line. This has given me this trend line and this trend line to work from. But overall, I know that I'm looking for buys when it comes to GJ. So again, given me this is our area of importance, this is where I will be looking for price to get to, which is nearly reached, before getting buys. Okay, so this isn't a signal. This is what I am doing. I've literally bought GJ and I've sold it to here, and now I will literally just be buying it again and again. Price doesn't need to do anything, I say. If it breaks this area, breaks this trend line, I will be then looking at sells back down to maybe around this area, and again maybe this area here. But for me, I'm overall looking for buys. Now going to the daily, you can just see a little bit more in depth what I'm looking at here. We've got point A, B, C. We can call that BC because we do have a little kind of a push off of the trend line, giving us a 3-point push off this trend line, meaning that this is a strong area of importance. This is a strong trend line. This is our 61.80 on the weekly Fibonacci retracement level, and this is a trade that I caught all the way down here. I did get out last week, so I did cut myself a little bit short, but that's fine. Not my cat coming and ruining the video, like always. You know, we always have this on the channel, but it's fine. Sorry for the sniffling and stuff, you know, I'm recovering, but I wanted to pull through the video. So if you did like the way I trade and you do have my analysis hand in hand with your own analysis, because no matter what I say, make sure you do your own analysis. This is what I will be looking for in the market next. So We are now approaching this area of importance, this green zone. This will give us this 1, area of importance confirmation, 2, 61.80 extension level confluence, and this trend line. So that's 3 confluences. And again, another confluence could be a candle pattern formation, or it could be a candlestick rejection or closure. Something like this would look beautiful on this area here. So maybe today, in the next 2-3 hours, with New York crossover and New York open, and there's a bit of news at 1:30 UK time, maybe there is going to be a little bit more of a downpour to then look for buys, is what I'll be looking for. So going to, okay, let me just quickly break this down. So we have somewhat of a head and shoulders pattern here. We have a rejection to the downside. We then have bounce 1, bounce 2, bounce 3. This gave me a clear indication of a trend line. I've put a trend line here and a trend line here. And again, what we use trend lines for is to just use to get into the market or to get out. If price breaks this trend line, I know that this trend line is now invalid. Okay, we also have this area of importance here because price has rejected this area multiple times before breaking through, then using it as support, again breaking through, using it as some sort of support and resistance. Going to the 4 hour, this is where I'm going to get a little bit more in depth with why I got into these trades. And I did get into a couple more trades up here, but I did remove them. I like to remove my trades every single week. The reason I've kept this up this week is because I really wanted to make a video on why I got in these trades, but I've just been so ill and I had no voice Thursday and Friday, so it's just about getting better. Okay, so I did catch, not this, I caught this, and then again I caught this, because if you just simply use Fibonacci retracement, it literally gives you the best setups. I am not even joking. But I'm going to explain this here because this is what you can see. And this trade from here to here got me, I think it was about £8,000 last week on one of my accounts. So that was a great trade that I caught. So I'm going to break it down. Now, the reason I got in this trade is because I simply used Fibonacci retracement, okay? So I'm going to show you how. I got my fib. I put my fib from this lower high because this is a new lower high from that lower high. Again, we can always move with the market. If you put this here, high, low, you see that we have rejected this 61.80. Now what I will do is I'll get a new Fibonacci and I will create my lower high here, okay, to this low, this lower low, right? This now rejects, comes to my 78.60, and if you don't know, this is a gem for you. 78.60 and 61.80 are the best rejection areas on Fibonacci retracement for GBPJPY and USDJPY. A lot of people say don't get in after 78.60. I kid you not, they're the best areas I work from for my entries. So I see this, it's come towards this trend line, it bounced off of my 78.60, and it also gave me a doji with a bearish engulfing. So I got my entry, I don't know why it's up there, but I got my entry around the doji, and then I got another entry because I was just so certain, and on a lower time frame, again, it gave me another Fibonacci. We want to use Fibonacci for higher time frames, but also use Fibonacci for lower time frames as well. I'm just keeping an eye on my battery. I have 17%, so I'm trying to be super quick. Anyway, so the reason I had my take profit down here is because we use these golden zones as take profit areas. And again, I have my 1, 2, and 3 confluence that this is the area I'm aiming for price to get to. So you could literally just catch trades in and out of this the whole time. I am not joking. Fibonacci is the best way to catch trades. I had this, my cat's just playing, I had this trend line as well from A, B, C, D, and then we see that price broke a little, so I was like, right, let me leave it for price to adjust. But what I did do is I used my Fibonacci quite a lot to just see how price is reacting. So regardless if it breaks one confluence, maybe it could be a support and resistance area, it could be a trend line, it could be a higher low on an uptrend or a lower high on a downtrend, always use your fibs as well. So if you see, I put my fib from this lower high here to this low, and it's still closed below the 78.60. So I was so guaranteed that price was not going to the upside. So what I did to get this entry here is, let me go to a 30-minute time frame, because I'm sure this was all taken on a 30-minute time frame. I'm so sorry guys, I'm just really recovering. So I saw this break. I then used my Fibonacci from this point to this point. I had this mini trend line, so we had a 1, 2, 3 bounce, and we had a consolidation on this bounce. We then broke this trend line. So this trend line for me was invalid, so we'll take that off. I then used a Fibonacci retracement for, was it here to here? And then this bounced off 78.60. So I said, okay, this could be a current trend line, okay? So then what I did is I got a Fibonacci retracement, and I put my fib from here to here. You may ask why. I put it from that high low because remember we bounced off of this 61.80, I think it was, when we just done it. Put it to this low because on a lower time frame, when you're trading, you want to go on lower time frames, but use higher time frames for major confluence. We then bounced off this 61.80, and it gave us a bearish engulfing. So this gave me a beautiful entry, 3 bounces off this trend line to get in that trade. So that's what I did. I then actually did get out of this trade before crossover because I didn't want to leave any trades running. So obviously price didn't actually reach my TP. If I left it on, it would have reached TP. If I pull it over, you'll see it would have reached TP. But for that point, I didn't. What I did was I got in 2 trades and I closed both of my trades out when price got to this candle here, which was a good move from me, to be honest, because I didn't want to risk losing any money in the market. And this just allowed me to have a better perspective on where the market's continuing to go. I then had this little mini break above this mini trend line here. My laptop's dying and I feel like I'm about to have a cough attack, so I'm going to make this last bit super quick. I then put another Fibonacci from this point to this point, and this gives us a bounce off of the, let's say 50. It's like 38.20 but 50. But for me, considering that we did break above a little bit, but it was so much a fake out, we stayed below this support and resistance area. And overall, if we used fib from here to here, so this last place of importance, this engulfing, bearish engulfing, to this low here, this then bounces beautifully. Let me just remove the old fib. This bounces beautifully off the 61.80. So again, another entry for myself. And then I use the first golden zone as a take profit. As we are currently reaching this area here, I could see price maybe coming up a little bit to retest this area today, and then coming down and bouncing straight up. I guess we'll have to see. I do currently have this trade on. Whether it plays out or not, I'm not too sure. After looking at this video, I'm sure you could go and put it on your chart, see if it played out or not. But I just see that price from here to here, giving me a Fibonacci, using this as an entry. We had a little rejection off the 61.80. I'm using my 78.60 as a stop loss level, and I'm using this as a take profit. Obviously, overall, I'm aiming for price to get here before looking for buys. So that is why I got in that little mini trade, just to see how price plays out. Whether it's a loser or a winner, it doesn't matter. We move with the markets. And this is what I will be looking for from GJ. I will be looking for my stop loss to be about here. Obviously, this is a higher time frame, guys, and I do not want 100 pips. I want anything from about 40 pips stop loss, and that is it. So I'm hoping for price to come to maybe, it would be lovely if it come to about here, to be honest, and then I could tighten my stop loss a bit. But we have to move with the market. So regardless of it giving me a nice wick, a bounce off the trend line, depending on what the market does is what I will be aiming for. So this is something what I will be looking for. I'm going to remove all of this because it's just in the way and it's really confusing at the moment. Right, so I'm going to have something like this down here, and obviously we're going to aim for certain targets first. So target 1, target 2, overall target 3, and then obviously making new highs. But overall, if I catch this trade, look at how beautiful that trade will be. So that's something I'm looking for with GJ. If anyone has any different bias, then please comment down below. But that is what I'm looking for. I hope you will have a blessed day and a blessed week ahead, and more videos like this to come. Peace.